All right, enough about Blackie.
All right. Hey, can I plug something real quick?
Sure, go right ahead.
You know, since I have not talked about this at all in the 3 months that I've known about this, do you know that I'm speaking at a college?
Yeah, next Saturday you're doing a whole college thing.
I am speaking at the Western Reserve Book Festival next Saturday. I'll be there from 10 to 1, signing books and whatever.
At Hiram College.
At the Hiram College, and I can give the exact address here in a minute. But I am actually going to be doing a reading and speaking from 11:55 to 12:15 in the Brown Fall Room at the Western Reserve Book Festival.
That's only 20 minutes.
I know. That's all they're giving me.
20 minutes.
Oh, dude, I'm in a thing with fucking 50 other authors.
Okay.
But, you know.
Yeah, but you're the only author that matters there, right?
Well, hey, I'm happy they're giving me 20 minutes.
It's like, step aside, fuckies. I'm the only guy that really matters here, and I'll get out of the room.
Now I'm trying. What should I read from Little Victories? Should I read the suicide part?
Sure.
That would be great.
You'd say Suicide Note Part 1.
Or either that or just read something from the Metallica book.
Right. Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Good day, boys.
Hello, Tom. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. Had to listen to 3 segments of fucking Doghouse. Figured I better fucking call in because that dude fucking burns my ears right the fuck out.
He burns your ears out?
What?
Well, oftentimes Doghouse has good points. I enjoy listening to his commentary and thoughts.
Fuck. I don't know. I can handle him once, maybe twice, third time I'm ready to string up. Got a noose made out of my father's beaver cat, ready to jump right in there and hang himself right out.
Okay, Tom. Well, what would you like to bring to the table?
I'd like to hear what fucking Chris's opinion is of your god-awful president letting a bunch of fucking terrorists go to let one fucking deserter live.
Well, you know, Tom, the president was doing what's in the best interest of the country, so it's obviously a good thing.
How is one turncoat ever in the best interest of anything?
This president is a fucking disaster. He is a fucking communist, and he's against everything that this country stands for. And him letting these fucking guys go for this deserter guy, and then trying to play the fucking military game of we don't leave anybody behind. No, we don't leave anybody that supports this country behind.
This is what I want to hear, Chris. You speak all the right terms.
The minute
you leave the motherfuckers who get your buddies killed. We always did when we fucking got into any type of shit.
Look, it's very simple. This fucking guy, if he truly deserted, which is how I believe it to be.
Come on, they got the rest of his platoon on the news telling you straight out he fucking walked off base.
Yeah, so
and he wasn't walking off to get some little nasty, dirty sand crab and bitch and swat. He wanted to find the fucking enemy.
Yeah, well, not only did he desert, but he puts the lives of everybody in jeopardy. This guy...
He got 6 motherfuckers killed. This is what I wanted to hear what you got to say. Because you just get that right-wing, left-wing news bullshit thing. I want to hear what a real veteran has to say about the situation.
No, and the reality is that anytime you go out into a battle, you go out with a formation where everybody has a position, and everybody has a place to be, and everybody has a job to do within that battle. When one guy fucking strays away, you put everybody else in jeopardy because everybody else has to cover for that fucking hole. And when the first guy covers,
you're only as strong as your weakest motherfucking link, right, brother?
Well, now you make everything a weak link against the fucking strong enemy. This fucking guy should not have been... They should not have brought this fucking guy back. I don't give a fuck if they wanted a puppy for him. They should have fucking...
They should have just bombed the place that they thought he was at and called it a day.
Yeah, be done with it. And giving back these 5 guys that are clearly fucking a problem? No, fuck that.
Come on, there's pictures floating all over the fucking internet of the one dude standing around 8 American heads. Yeah, fuck him. Yeah. They should have fucking raped him with a goat right from the start.
Well, with any luck, somebody gets crazy with a drone and kills these fucking guys anyway.
But I know I'm up here in Canada, and really my point of interest don't matter to fuck all, but holy fuck. If I was you boys, I'd be moving the fuck out of your country. We got lots of room up here. You might as well come be Canadians. Dude, at least we know where we fucking stand. We're not giving away anybody for anybody.
No
you got left behind. My grandpa spent 2 years extra in Japan in World War II as a prisoner of war. Nobody tried to get him the fuck back.
The
They just decided one day, can't we torture him enough, we'll send him back.
The fact that this is what goes on, and, okay, if it happened and it's a fuck-up, that's fine, but my personal gut tells me, I've been arguing this all week, and I have nothing to base this on or prove it on. It's just a hunch, and it's a hunch I have based on doing 2.5 years of being an intelligence analyst for the military. We have one of two things that I honestly believe with this. Either that Bergdahl was a double agent that we needed to get back, or we flipped one of these guys when they were in Guantanamo and we're sending them over to get information. Nothing else makes
hopefully
sense.
It's the other one and we get a little bit of something back out of it. Fuck all the Muslim motherfucking redhead bastards.
Dude,
blow
nothing
them all
else
up.
Makes sense. Nothing else
We just
makes
nuke
sense.
it all and take their fucking oil so my old Dodge has more gas to burn.
Well, I'm for that, but even if we did take the oil, they'll still charge us $4.25 a gallon. And fucking fucks.
Fuck, at least we own it, man.
Yeah, so what? No, the government owns it, and they'll fucking rob us for it. Let's stop calling everything.
Come on, if we got
us
another
owning-
20 billion liters, they're only going to rape us $2 instead of $4.
Dude, first of all, your assumption that any government is for the people in 2014 is ridiculous. There's no...
My government's raping us every day. They're charging other parties now in my country millions of dollars for mailing shit out of Parliament up here. And when they weren't mailing shit out of Parliament, they're just trying to make sure that everybody else looks bad so they get elected next time.
And there's truth to that. But the point is that, I don't know Canadian government from shit, but I know American government fairly well, and I'll say unabashed that all of these motherfuckers should be put in jail. They're all fucking traitors. They're all fucking against the people. None of them make rulings for the people. Anytime you have a vote that goes in a partisan way, I don't care what the vote is for, and I don't care about any of it. If it goes with all the Democrats voting one way and all the Republicans going another way, that proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that they're not voting the will of their people that elected them in their state, and therefore they should all be fucking fired as treasonous. They should all be jailed.
I totally agree with that. It's all about who's padding whose pockets, who's giving the common courtesy of the reach around to get the votes nowadays, right, brother?
That's right, dude. It's just fucking. There is no government anymore. There's a power surge.
No, it's all about who'll rub whose spluck.
Oh, but it's all based in power. None of these fucking guys give a flying fuck about you. They don't give a fuck if you can eat, starve, if they have to kill you, whatever. They don't give a fuck. All they give a fuck about is that they get further power. That's it.
All that power still relates back to money. If he ain't got the dollars, he ain't got no power.
Oh, that's the truth. But they have all the money. They have all the money. And
they're getting more of it every day, though. That's the problem.
Money, which is the oil.
Yeah, that's right. It won't be long. You boys will be going back to Iraq.
Well, they already sent a fucking They already sent a boat over there just to.
That's a boat. Won't be long till another 200,000 Jews are standing on Iraqi soil, dying for a bunch of bullshit they don't believe in.
Fuck that, dude. It's a disaster, dude. This fucking Obama is the biggest fucking communist in the history of this fucking country.
No, I thought they were doing a good thing, inviting a nigger to be the president, and it's just biting you guys in the house every day. Obama is the biggest nigger I ever met.
Wow.
Got a couple black buddies that never call him a bad word in their life, but fuck that Obama, man. He's fucking over the whole world, and he thinks he likes it.
Yeah, no, there's truth to that. He is definitely fucking over the entire world.
He's worse than the fucking bigot rednecks down south. He thinks he's doing it for the better of somebody. Just like they think they're doing it for the better of their kind.
Either, personally.
There ain't no better everywhere in any of these situations.
Dude, there's no possible way anybody could look at this 5-for-1 trade and fucking rationally explain how it was better for the country's security, anything.
The whole better bet would have been spent the $225 on a bullet and shot them all 6 of the fuckers.
Well, and that's the way it should be in the first place.
But it would have cost you $15. You would have got rid of them all. And you'd have no headache, no press releases, no nothing. Nobody cares that the government spent $15 to shoot 6 guys.
When we got these fucking 5 guys, we should have rounded up their families, stuck grenades in their wives' mouths, and started pulling pins. That's what we should
Fucking brother.
And eventually you scare them and you scare them and you scare them until they're fucking scared to death to fucking act up. You put them in their fucking place.
I wasn't going to think about the Reagan administration. He'd just tell you he was building Star Wars weapons and blow you the fuck out of the sky. He had the whole world scared of that motherfucker. He was just an actor.
You don't placate with political correctness with fucking terrorists. You treat terrorists with terror. You out-terror
You just keep blowing them the fuck out of the water.
Yeah. You out-terror a terrorist. That's what you do.
Fucking
they want to blow up our buildings, and let's blow up their whole fucking country. Period.
Fucking that's why we're nuclear capable. Fuck it. What's 100 million motherfuckers?
Yeah.
They're all shitty, dirt heel, goat raping motherfuckers. They even rape a few camels too, them terrorist bastards. They're trying to double dip. They're trying to get their balls in the asshole while they're doing the vag.
Yep.
They're reverse camel riding. That's when you put your pecker in the camel and your balls in their ass and you hop along upside down. Fucking mule jockeys.
Is that what you call that, Tom?
Wow, fuck. We got so many new fucking eggheads moving into my little city, man. We got one fucking little convenience store that ain't around by the turbine weather motherfuckers. We opened up our borders. You guys close yours down. We let them all in up here now.
I don't know how you think ours are closed.
Well, fuck, they're more closed than ours. You guys just got to deal with Mexicans. They ain't even that bad. At least half of them can talk a little English.
Yeah, except for now that cocksucker in the office is fucking opening it up so that these fuckers can come in and vote.
Cubans. At least they know how to grow a little weed to keep your country afloat in the green, because you fuckers can't grow that shit with shit compared to up here.
I understand that.
We grow better marijuana in Canada than you motherfuckers in the southern states ever grew.
Right.
But them Cubans, they can grow some fucking weed. We got a couple Cuban growers in Europe offered to grow the prime.
All right, Tom.
Fucking drunk boys. I'm going to let you go. I have to get your opinion on this bullshit with the fucking terrorists, okay?
Well, I'm not real happy, that's for sure.
No, somebody needs to blow Obama up.
Yeah, well, let's not go that far.
Well, I'm a Canadian. They can come try to track me down. I'm the dude with the white sheep Dodge 84 half ton with the gold cap. Come find me. Blow Obama up.
No.
That guy's the most useless fucking nigger on the planet.
Say it this way, Tom. Even though this guy is the biggest fucking piece of shit ever to hold that office, it's still a fucking blight on our country if he gets assassinated. So, in my world, I'd just like to see him jailed.
It gives guys like Bush more power to blow more shit up, and Bush was the worst there ever was. Well, Obama, he totally blew that shit right out of the water.
That's right, but you still don't want, nobody wants their leaders to be murdered because it just makes their country look weak.
Well, no, then you got to get strong because you got to teach them a lesson.
Yeah, but you can get strong by putting this asshole in jail. You can
impeach him and put him in jail too. War crimes.
Yeah, definitely war crimes or treasonous acts against the fucking.
Something like that.
Any of that.
I'm guarantee you, there's got to be a statute for war crimes with Obama. He's killed how many American Jews?
Well, he's a piece of shit, dude. There's no question about that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you boys go tonight.
All right, Tom.
Play something from 6 Feet Under for me again tonight, there, boys.
All right, Tom.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry for the political bullshit on your show there, McNeely.
All right.
But I had questions and they had to be answered.
Absolutely, Tom. Anytime.
Okay.
All right. Hail and kill.
Andrew. This is Tom The Scot, and you're listening live to the Classic Metal Show, where metal is metal and harder than steel, even if we have to steal a little bit. Blow job!
Classic metal skill.
There you go.
There you go.
Tom.
Needed my opinion.
Well, of course, you're an important player.
What's your opinion? Were you for that move?
No, absolutely not.
I'm just asking. You didn't voice in.
Absolutely not.
You know, it's just. Tell me it's not sad that this is the country we live in.
Dude, I wake up every day and I'm just totally disgusted. And at the same time, I'm thankful. And I'll tell you what I'm thankful for.
All right.
That I did not bring children into this world.
Yeah, no shit. I feel for my kids.
That's the only thing I'm thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as you know, I've been involved with women who've had young children.
Right, sure.
And I thank my good presence of mind that I did not bring children into this world.
Right.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
All right, let me just comment on this Bergdahl thing.
Okay.
And I'll make it fairly quick because Tom doesn't like listening to me. But, well, Tom, I don't really like
I have no problem with you, Doghouse. You're welcome on the show anytime.
Okay. All right, well, man, I think we fucked up. It's like a baseball team trading their whole starting rotation for a backup catcher. But, I mean, aside from that, that's assuming that, you know, I mean, we're so used to, in this day and age of the internet and blogs and Edward Snowden and TMZ and on WikiLeaks and all that stuff, we're so used to thinking that we know all the details. And like Chris said, there may be more to the story that we just don't know about. I mean, you got to think there's lots of stuff that goes on that we don't know about. And that we're not supposed to know about, and it's just best that we don't know about.
Well, the question I had, Doghouse, is, you know, you can look at the act of trading these 5 terrorists for this one military guy for what it is. But you have to wonder, what is the real impetus behind doing this?
Yeah. Well, I have an idea. It's somewhat related to that, but it's more like a commentary on the way people think. And not you guys, but, you know, ignorant people. Suppose we left him there. Yeah. And then we're pulling all our troops out of Afghanistan because it was a clusterfuck, and, you know, we spent a ton of money there, and it's still it's still a shithole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Suppose we pull our people out of there. And I know it, and you know it too. Some of the same people that are pissing and moaning about how this deal was the wrong deal and everything, some of those exact same people will be saying, well, he left that poor soldier there.
Yeah, okay, but here I have 2 points to make to counter this. Number one, there's no reason, none, that this needed to be public. This is the kind of move that could have been made in secrecy and no one would know any better.
Agreed.
So why was it made public?
Don't need a press conference in the Rose Garden.
There was no need for a press conference at all. That's the first thought. The second
How would you keep it secret? How would you, how would we get him out and not
Okay, how about this? 3 weeks ago, did you know the name Bo Bergdahl?
Honestly, no.
Okay,
but I felt like I probably should have.
Up until they captured that guy, Lind, was his name Lind, that they captured in the Gulf War, the American Taliban?
John Walker.
John Walker Lind, right? Was that his name? Before they captured that guy, did you know his name? Had you heard about the American Taliban?
No.
If they'd have killed him with a drone strike, would you ever have known the guy's name?
Probably not.
Adam Dahl, I think was his name, the guy that's the other guy that does speeches for the Taliban or for the Al Qaeda, but he's an American guy. You know,
I'm vaguely familiar with him.
If that guy would have, if they never would have put his fucking face on TV, would you know his name?
Probably not.
The assumption, and this is me speaking again with some military intel background in my life, not like I'm an expert, but I can tell you for a fact, intel that gets put on TV is put on TV for a reason. It's anytime you can use intelligence to divert from something else, it gets used. That's why there's 500 fucking murders a day carried out, but every once in a while you get one that captivates the country for 3 months. You know, I mean, what makes John Benet Ramsey any different than any other kid that got killed? Nothing, except it was a good opportunity at the time to cover up some other bullshit that was going on. You always have to look at everything else that's going on. And now let's look at everything that's going on right now. Everybody in this country that follows politics in any way, shape, or form has been focused on this Bergdahl thing, right?
Right.
Fair. That's a fair point. And
Sure. Yeah.
And okay, and in the last 2 weeks, gas has gone up to almost $4 a gallon again, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we're going back to Iraq. And yet it has not been focused on because everybody and their brother is all focused in on this fucking Bergdahl bullshit.
Oh, the Iraq is starting to be more of a story, yes.
Yeah,
Now.
and that is how general intel gets used. That's how they use the propaganda tool. It's called human intelligence. That's how they use it. That's how they've always used. That's how they've used it since 1987 when I was an intel guy.
And not only that, but apparently when the Tea Party claimed that the IRS was targeting them, now all of a sudden all of the emails that were exchanged that had anything to do with the Tea Party being targeted somehow ended up missing.
Amazing.
I did see that, yes. But I have my own theory about the Tea Party and the IRS. I don't think they were necessarily maliciously targeting them. I just think they were lazy, and the IRS were lazy, and they wanted to target groups with blatantly political aspirations that were trying to pass themselves off as, nonprofits or whatever, and they thought, well, hey, here are some really easy keywords we can look for.
But regardless, all of a sudden these emails that had anything to do with that between 2011 and 2013, they're just somehow missing?
Why are they just now missing?
That's the point.
And they're missing at a time when everybody's more focused on other shit.
If I was going to delete them, I'd have deleted them as soon as the story came out.
Yeah, or before the story came out.
Yeah, well, I mean, aside from that, it's just me personally. It's really hard for me to sympathize with the Tea Party because it just seems like they're just a new way to package the same old shit.
Well, regardless of that, but and of course the 2016 presidential race is heating up, and all of a sudden, obviously, Hillary Clinton has always been portrayed as the favorite to take that mantle, and her participation in the whole Benghazi thing has never really been answered. Now all of a sudden that's being glossed over too.
Sure.
So, again, it's a distraction. Don't look over here. Look over here. Don't look over there. Look over here. This is
something that's really interesting to me. I'm just fascinated by the way that information gets out and that regular people use that information or abuse the information or cherry pick from it or, basically just misuse it. It's just fascinating to me how people, because we're just flooded with information. It's not like it was in the 90s or the 80s, or it's a whole new way that, basically stuff's not working the way it was supposed to, the way it used to.
There's a simple rule for following politics today. Number one, don't follow any of it on major news. And that's ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, any of that. If you follow any of it from there, you get a slanted perspective.
Because they're being paid by somebody.
Yeah, it's not news, it's entertainment. So,
or in those pesky fact-checking departments, too.
Well, but again, this is the reason why Chris and I have always stayed away from the opportunity to be picked up by some kind of a commercial entity.
Yep.
Because they would alter what we do.
Right, and we're not willing to do it.
But at the same time, I think it's kind of dangerous that people should just go off on the internet and just Google stuff and find up, somebody's unsourced, unfact-checked blog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you do that, then that's your own ignorance.
No, but people are ignorant, and they start blurting stuff out that they read somewhere on. And people, you've heard the whole saying about how the average American reads at the 6th grade level, right?
Yeah.
They don't know how to filter stuff out when they do research. That's how misinformation gets spread, because dumb people see it and believe it and repeat it.
And that's why you have so many statistics out there. Because statistics, any statistic can be a positive or a negative.
Sure. You can spin anything the way you want, and you know there have been, not speaking of statistics, but there have been studies that show that people gravitate toward information that confirms what they already think.
Yeah, well, that's
which ought to be
exactly
common sense to anybody, right?
Yep. No, that's exactly true.
Sure. So if if you're already one of these anti-government semi-militia types, you're obviously going to go to whatever research, even if it's unsourced, uncredited. You can't trace it any further back than somebody's blog that you read it on. You're going to go for it, and you're going to quote that as gospel because it says what you already think.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Confusing times, man.
Ain't that confusing? Just listen to metal and keep your guns loaded. You're all good.
Right. It's just the end times, Doghouse. Just the end times.
Right. Just a flood of information, and most people aren't equipped to handle so much information.
Right.
That's why you keep the guns loaded.
Just be ready to accept your V-chip in 2017.
By the way, not to get back to it again, but the Tesla song, Time Bomb, notice the line about load up your guns and all the talk about revolution. It's like a Tea Party anthem.
Right. Well,
Another reason I don't care for it.
Well, just read your Affordable Care Act and notice that you'll be receiving your chip in 2017.
Right.
Not
yes,
me.
I'll be microchipped just like a dog.
Exactly.
Not me.
By the way, the same people that are all up in arms about Hillary Clinton saying that they were flat broke when they left the White House, which is, yes, it's laughable.
Yeah.
The Clintons being broke at all, or one step away from starving, or whatever, however she painted it. These same people don't seem to want, they seem to side with giant corporations paying people shit wages. So on the one hand, Hillary doesn't empathize with the plight of the working man. Then on the other hand, it's like people should lick the boots of Sam Walton for being paid $7.25 an hour. It's like, which is it? It can't be both.
Well, it can be both. It only depends on what day it advantages you.
That's true.
Well, it's like what my freshman year of college, I took a philosophy course. It was like Intro to Philosophy. And one of the assignments would be like, argue such and such point from the perspective of Immanuel Kant or John Locke or one of these fucking old bullshit artists or whoever it was. But I would just go off and just say what I thought. I would argue from my own perspective, and I kept getting marked off, and he would say, well, you don't have a consistent philosophical framework. And I didn't know what that meant, and now I do because I see people talking out both sides of their mouth.
Right.
This stuff doesn't add up, and people don't realize it because they don't think about what they're saying.
Nope.
It's
just
infuriating.
ramble. It's nothing more than a Facebook quote anymore.
Yeah, people just react to sound bites, and they move from one sound bite to the next. I mean, my own father was, and I can't remember how long ago it was, but he was talking about some act of Congress. I don't even remember what it was about, but he was talking about the Jones Act. Now, I love my dad, but I know he doesn't know it unless he heard it on Rush Limbaugh or something. I know for a fact he'd never heard of the Jones Act before. And no offense, but it's true. This is a guy who barely finished high school because he was more interested in hot rods and stuff.
Right.
He didn't know the Jones Act for nothing.
Well, he lived during a time when things were still good.
Yes. Oh, those wonderful good old days of the 50s and 60s.
Well, they were.
By comparison, they were.
So we're told.
I'd take that over today.
There was bad shit in any era.
I agree, but still.
I'm a firm believer in good old days, my ass. They were just different days.
Nice. All right, Doghouse.
That is all.
All right. Hail and kill.
Fuck you, pal.